How you be? We getting ready to go live.
How it do?
Here we go.
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night. I know. Listen, I get it's been raining for like 2 days straight, but so what? So it's been raining. I mean, the thing is, without the rain is making everything green and beautiful. Things are blooming. Yeah, I know it's cold outside, but you know what? It's warm inside where you're listening to this program. No matter where you are, if you're in the state of Georgia, in the state of North Carolina, or right here in South Carolina, we are here to have a good time on Saturday night because that's what we do. We are your morning show on the weekend at night. It's the Upstate Pulse. And before we get started on everything, let me tell you the things that we are going to talk about today. We're going to review the latest episode of The Mandalorian. We went to see the Mario movie today. We're going to tell you whether it's for the kids or for the adults. We're going to let you know about that because there's some disappointment out there in one of those groups. I'm going to tell you which one. We are also going to continue our video game bracket. We got a bunch of stuff in the Nerd Roundtable. We also have a special guest, and you already know who that guest is if you are on our Facebook page, Upstate Pulse, or News Talk 98.9. I have to take a breath because I almost did it, but I didn't do it.
No, good job.
This is only my second time on the air with the new call letter. So, doing this show. And you can get us on Twitter at News Talk 98.9 or the Upstate Pulse, or you can get us on Twitch at the Upstate Pulse and YouTube at the Upstate Pulse. Apparently, the 106.3 YouTube is not working. I will try to fix that in a moment. The only bad part about this thing is, when something doesn't work, you don't find out until you're in the middle of it. So I'm going to hit this button and it's not letting me do it. All right, fine. I'll just remove it. And there we go. All right. So we should be on the backup now, whatever that is, on the YouTube page. All right. So I am a little short-handed today, which is why you hear me doing stuff on the air. T2 has been on vacation all week and decided, you know what, I need Saturday off too, even though I asked him like 5 times if he's going to be here. And then, something came up that he probably knew about and he just forgot to tell me, but it is him. So I'm kind of used to that. And Matthew is, I believe, doing a Smash Brothers tournament. The cool part is when one of us misses a show, it's usually for something video game or pop culture related. And those are very excusable to me. So I don't have a problem with that. But we do have the upgrade, Cameron, here.
I am here.
He is here.
Always.
And we have special guest, not really a guest. I mean, this is his show too, because he's here all the time. That would be Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games and South Carolina Comicon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Which I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I mean, Rob, I don't know if you knew this or not, but that is next week.
It's next.
It's next week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you ready for that,
I
right?
gotta go.
Yeah.
I need to leave. I got stuff to do. What am I doing?
You ain't got nothing to do.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to do. It's only a week away.
The insanity begins.
Well, just think at this point next week, day number 1 will be over.
Isn't that crazy?
And we will be looking at day number 2 the next day. We're going to talk a lot of South Carolina Comicon because I have a ton of questions for Rob. And if you have any questions, our text line is 71307. Shoot us a text. Still don't understand why you have to shoot a text, but shoot us a text and we will respond. And
It's the quickest way to get a text over.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
If you catapult a text, it'll have some hang time.
I'd rather rocket
Have
us.
that arch in it, right?
Yeah, rocket us.
You don't want to put that arc in it. I mean, because that takes time.
Speaking of text, Texture writes, guys, saw the D&D movie today and was impressed by how good it is. Do you think that the open gaming license debacle caused by Hasbro, WOTC could result in some fans boycotting and causing the box office results to be artificially depressed from what is otherwise a surprising good film. That's from Scott. No, I don't think so. I
It's
think
been doing well.
Have y'all seen it?
yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. We
Same.
we saw it last week. We reviewed it last week or 2 weeks ago without spoilers, which we could spoil now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually went to see it with Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show, and Cameron went to see it with some of his D&D buddies, and we loved it.
What'd you guys think? So we can do spoilers?
Oh, we can do it now.
What'd you
can,
guys think about the other contestants?
Oh,
yeah. See,
that was
I'm
a good Easter egg.
all right. So I'm glad you brought that up because I couldn't mention it last time we talked about it. I want to know if they're still alive because
I was going to say, they don't tell us if they made it.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool.
So if you are a little bit older, like Rob and I, then you watched the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, which was one of my favorite cartoons. That was my first exposure to Dungeons and Dragons because I couldn't play the real thing because of, the devil scare of the 80s, because I was right in the middle of that. So, but I got to watch the cartoon, loved the cartoon. But as soon as I saw that hat, I saw the wizard's hat. I'm like, and I already knew they were going to be in it, but I forgot. And I saw the hat and I'm like, there they are. And when they're in the cage and you see them behind, the little guy, man, he looks so
He
good.
looked perfect.
Yes. It's like,
Was it you that told me they're from a car commercial?
no, I think someone else, they have been in the car commercial.
Yeah, that's like in Brazil or something
Yeah.
like that. And somebody said they thought it was the same actors, maybe.
It might be.
So it's like a double Easter egg.
Yeah, but in the end, guys like us, I'm glad you had the same question I did. I'm like, did they die?
Here's the thing.
Because I don't know
if they moved, then they're alive. If they didn't, they are totally dead.
Well,
they're zombies.
We don't know where they were in relation to when the evil stuff came out to make everybody zombies.
Here's the other thing. They might have won the games.
No one was going to win. Because in the end, it was about turning everybody into zombies. Yeah,
D&D cartoon zombies.
Yeah, they would be.
I was going to bite you. Sorry, I'm an 80s cartoon. Just kidding. Nobody can get hurt.
I'd be okay with that. I just didn't want to.
Hilarious. They always miss.
No, if they get it, they actually their teeth are actually gone, so they're just gumming you.
It is gumming you. We can't even turn you into zombies.
Or the dungeon master shows up and saves them. The little guy. The little dude. Yeah, it could be. I am upset that we don't know.
And then it bit him.
Yeah, maybe. So the movie overall, that was really, really good. Later on, we're going to review the Mario movie that we saw today. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Also, Jonathan, no.
Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, one of my favorite parts, Jonathan. The thing is, they don't take themselves seriously. And Rob Brown had a theory that there are a couple players playing really poorly. And that's why like the Bard has some trouble because he hasn't rolled really well. And I'm like, that's very deep. And that might be exactly what they're doing. But we had a good time watching the movie. And if you haven't seen it, go see it because you are going to enjoy it.
Also, chunky dragons are awesome.
So
the chunky dragon.
Yes, the chunky dragon.
He's actually a dragon from the lore. The Duragar actually essentially kept feeding him nonstop, so that way he would fuel their forges in the Underdark. I think his name is Thunderchod.
Yeah, he was. That was interesting.
His name is Thunder.
Yeah.
All right.
You can definitely hear him coming.
Let's look at the stream really quick. Let's see. Viper says happy moist Saturday. That's what it is.
Oh man.
Chris says the three amigos today. Yep, that's us. Shimbius. It was really cool to see them. Yes, it was. Talking about the Dungeons and Dragons. Short. And my headcanon is that they made it out. Yeah, mine too. I want to believe that. And Chris wants to know when I stopped wielding the Darksaber. I will not tell you who beat me. But they let me live. I am limping, though. That's all I'm going to say. Shimbius says, I love that the Paladin was just a DM PC. It was really funny.
A lot of people point that out.
The Paladin's armor, though, was wicked. I love that armor. That stuff was cool.
Have you seen the piece where he said, man, I wish I would have done a Robert Downey Jr. and just let him CGI the armor? He said it was absolutely miserable to wear that for 12 or 14 hours a day.
Well, sometimes you got to go through pain to look that good. And I think he did. I'm pretty happy about that. I really am. All right. So we are going to take our first break. Before we do that, I'll let you know that we are going to be talking nothing but bear meat in the second hour. That's it. Just bear meat. You don't know what I mean? You have to wait till the second hour when we talk.
Are we lacking
bear meat? when I say bear meat, I don't mean like, man, that's not a lot of meat. I mean meat from a bear. That's what I mean.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yes, meat from a bear. May or may not be in a vending machine. All right, you are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, Carolina's place to talk. All right, that last part was wrong. It's not Carolina's place to talk.
I was going to.
It's the voice of the Carolinas. Hey, man, I don't do this very often.
By the way, the DMPC comment was from Matthew.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Thank you for
Why you got to
identifying
spoil
us.
that for, Matthew? I mean, we
Hope
didn't
you're
even know it
doing
was
good,
you.
Matthew.
Also, Christopher says, bear meat? Squatch snacks?
Squatch snacks. Who
He
wouldn't
said
buy
my-
some of that?
Here's what's funny. You know how you look at something and it looks wrong and you look back and then it's spelled correctly?
Mhm.
It says my head canon is that they made it out. Mine was my head Conan. And then I look back and I went, what?
Okay, the question is, which Conan? Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Wrestler?
Please tell me it's
Or
the
Conan
Barbarian.
O'Brien.
That's where I went. I went, which Conan? Conan the Barbarian or Conan O'Brien?
Just cue
They're
to Conan
probably
just
about
yelling.
the same height, but not the same width.
I also imagine, like, if you put, like, the three of them together, Conan's in the middle, is like, I feel like I don't belong here.
We've got a Red Dead question. We'll wait till we get back on the air. I wonder if it's actually the voice of of a certain character on Red Dead asking that. It could
Yeah,
be. Could be him
Gumbo
on the text
Driscoll's.
line. I don't know.
That is-
Viper, that's wrong, dude. That is wrong. It might be accurate, but that's wrong.
Yikes.
I got to tell you, unless I change my mind, Squatch Snacks is becoming a parody commercial.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I got some ideas right now.
Chris, not CGC and CBCS, I think, lost some employees, so they're not doing as many. CGC doesn't seem to want to travel. We talked to them. So as far as I know, unless a vendor sets up, we've had vendors set up at the show and be CGC facilitators and not tell us. They just set up and put up a banner. So that could happen. I mean,
All right,
don't
I don't know
know
what that is.
it's the folks that grade comics.
Oh, okay.
So
All right,
it's
no.
the folks that do that. So this year, CGC didn't. I mean, they don't. A lot of those companies aren't. Since COVID, they learned they didn't have to travel.
So, like the
So a
Spanish
lot of them are
Inquisition.
not traveling. They just want you to send stuff in, right?
I do remember one year there was a lady authenticating stuff, and
That was CGC.
was that
They had a
she
big-
was lonely because when nobody comes, she's all by herself. Looked like it was a dark hole. I mean, back
Nah,
when
that
she
wouldn't
was.
have been them.
yeah,
They were
yeah.
always busy.
Yeah, well, it could have just been when I walked by. It's
Yeah.
like people are like wide berth. I don't want to know if it's real or not. I just bought it.
Let me live in
I'm sure everything
reality.
in South Carolina
Let me
Comic Con
live
is
in my
authentic.
reality.
Yes, that's right. I'm going to believe this. I don't need you to tell me it's real.
That's me too. That's pretty much every day of my life. I don't want to get woken up.
Although if you get the signature yourself, you walk up to like say a guest at South
Start
Carolina
singing
Comic
some
Con.
Evanescence.
You walk up to a guest at South Carolina Comic Con and you get a signature. You
You know it's
see
real.
them
That's
write
all
the
that matters.
signature. Yeah, yeah. You can tell they're real. I wouldn't advise reaching over like to Dan Severin and poking him to see if he's a hologram or
I
not.
definitely wouldn't do it with Don Fry.
Yeah, those guys might
They might
grab
poke
your
back.
finger.
Yeah, they will poke back. One
Poking might be aggressive.
Dan might suplex you on your skull, and Don would probably just punch your skull off. Yeah, he's
Dan would also headbutt you.
Yes.
a record 250 times
Yes,
or something
yes.
crazy.
Still one of my favorite promos I've ever done over there, and I will keep that forever. His skull swelled up. They took him to the hospital. I took 2 Advil and went home. It was like, okay,
Wrestlers.
straight face the entire time. It was
Straight
it
up
was-
serious.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was great.
He's super professional.
Also seeing the look on Rob Brown's face when he was saying it. That was even better. Like, I probably should not mess with this guy. No, you should not.
Advice is be nice.
Be nice. Exactly. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here, along with Cameron and Rob Young. And we are having a blast on Saturday night, getting ready to talk all things South Carolina Comicon. If you want to be a part of the show, check us out on stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, at either the Upstate Pulse or News Talk 98.9. I'm trying to do that clever, like I'm out of breath and have to do that when really it's that thing in my mind. It's trying to make me say the other thing.
You know, when you're trying to do something clever, you don't point out the clever thing you're trying to do.
Well, I don't want anyone to think that I have a tick or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Some people have ticks. I mean, it's just.
Or not that you don't.
That's not your fault. I should have turned your mic on. That's me. All right. The text line 71307. Texter writes, what kind of Red Dead Redemption 2 stuff will be at Comicon?
Well, man, there's vendors with everything, but obviously
there's like a guy.
The best thing you can get is go meet Roger Clark himself, who is the nicest guy. If you have not met him at a show or spent any time with him, he is genuinely a really nice guy, good human being. You'll have a great time meeting him if you're a Red Dead Redemption 2 fan.
There you go. There's other guests that you can meet. Well, we're not going to talk. You know what? Here's the thing. There might be someone listening right now in this area in South Carolina or in North Carolina or in Georgia
or in Tennessee. Believe it or not, we get a lot of people in Tennessee
that are saying South Carolina Comicon. When is that? When is South Carolina Comicon, Rob?
Man, it is April 15th and 16th. It is 6 days away.
Wow. So next week. Why are you here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like I like you guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's strange. I have horrible taste in friends.
Yes, that is true, without a doubt. I mean, look at us. And you can look at us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. Where is it?
So it's at the Greenville Convention Center, 10 to 6 on Saturday, 11 to 6 on Sunday.
All right. Are there VIP passes?
There are a few left. So VIP passes are almost sold out. The advantage of the VIP pass is you get in 30 minutes early each day. I assure you that is gold. And when you can skip the line and be standing at your celebrity's booth the minute they walk in, that saves you so much time. You also get 3 free variants that will be there and an exclusive t-shirt. Now, normally I'll say, and you'll get whatever size you ask for. It is starting to get a little tight on sizes. So folks may get whatever size is available at this point. This late date, obviously we're guessing on sizing, but we do as close as we can. But yeah, the 30 minutes early is really the value. When you can get there and walk in 30 minutes early, that is absolute gold.
Yeah, and if you're someone who doesn't, you see people holding things that you could have bought if you were in 30 minutes earlier.
It's worth it.
Not that the cupboard's going to be bare when you get in there, because it is not, because there are plenty of vendors and plenty of stuff. How much does it cost to get in each day and for both days?
So it is for the whole weekend, $35, $25 for Saturday, $20 for Sunday. I believe it was $100 for the VIP. And if you go to scomicon.com, you do have some folks who have allowed us to pre-sell autographs.
Really?
So you can pre-sell, pre-buy your autographs. All you have to do is walk up. They'll have a list, and you'll be able to just get it done. So that's kind of cool when you think about it. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult.
So there you go. And
so like if there's 2 of you, 2 kids get in free, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to bring a kid, you definitely need to, because this is the kind of thing that they're going to have a lot of fun with. Just seeing all the people cosplaying. So if you don't know what cosplaying is, Cameron, what is cosplaying?
Cosplaying is essentially being able to dress up into some of your favorite characters or creations of your own as far as costumes go in the line of nerddom that you like to be in. So you'll see everything from Star Wars characters, stormtroopers, Mandalorians, Sith and Jedi, to Ghostbusters, to various random and or a variety of anime characters and such, and also maybe the Bat Pope.
Yeah, the Bat Pope was really cool. I love that dude. I hope he's back this time. If I see the dude dressed up as the Bat Pope, I'm getting a picture this time. I wimped out last time.
Why'd you wimp out? That's why I wore the costume.
Why do I wimp out at anything? I just didn't.
We had the conversation earlier before the show.
Yeah. I mean, why am I me? I don't know. I just am. So and the other thing is, when you go to South Carolina Comicon, because you're going to go, because you should go, and you're going to have a good time. most of the people who dress up, I would say probably 99% of the people who dress up, they don't mind stopping and taking a picture with you because they spend a lot of time making those costumes.
Yeah, just
And
ask, right?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
just common courtesy like you would anything else. Go, hey, do you mind if we take a picture?
And the cool thing is you might be standing there and you may see, a couple Sith walking around the corner because there can be only two, a master and an apprentice. And you might see some Jedi and suddenly they see each other and, there's a standoff. And it's a lot of fun to watch. It really is. And then they all take a picture together. It's very, very cool. Speaking of cosplay, there's going to be a contest for cosplay. And, all the years I've been, I still haven't seen a cosplay contest.
You've never
Yeah,
been to the
I
cosplay
have
contest?
not, and this year I want to. And
Oh, man.
but here's the thing: when is it? When is the cosplay contest?
3:00 on Sunday. So if you're wanting to participate, there's some rules to enter. Okay, so we're just talking about looking. So go to scomicon.com, click the cosplay tab, and you can see the different categories and that kind of thing if you're wanting to enter the cosplay contest. I will say in the master class, there is a $500 cash first prize.
Ooh.
All right. Now, but if you want to watch 3:00 Sunday, here's hack number one. No matter how many chairs we put out, they will be full. So if you really want to watch a cosplay contest and you don't want to stand, my advice is get over there a little bit early and get you a chair. Be on the far right side of the hall. We'll have a cosplay stage set up with sound system and all that kind of good stuff. But that's the hack, because every time we've increased the number of chairs and every time they're full.
Oh boy.
And it's 3 minutes till you can sit in your chair for the cosplay contest. That's fantastic. If you, those of you watch on the stream, Lonzo's face was epic.
Yeah. Let me pause for a second because I owe myself something. There we go. There we go. Gets me almost every time I have to be on this side of the board, and you'd think I'd be better than that after 26 years in radio, but apparently I'm not.
Yeah, it
but
was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I was looking right at you and you were like, no.
It wasn't fun for me. Okay, so what do you do if you want to enter the cosplay contest?
Sure.
What exactly do you do? I mean, do you just
absolutely. So there'll be a table in the lobby and it'll have the cosplay contest forms. And you can go in there and enter. You'll enter whatever class you're looking for. There's a junior class for ages 12 and under. There's a novice, a journeyman, and a master. You'll enter. There's no cost to enter other than, obviously, I've actually had to say this to folks, you do have to pay to get in the con. I know that sounds hilarious.
That kind of goes with that. I would think
but
that
I've had to do that. Yeah. They're like, it doesn't matter. I don't have to pay. I'm just entering the contest. You're going to pay to get in the con. But anyways, so you pay to get in the con. You hand your form at will call, and they will get you into the contest. Chris and Miracle Burns and Alex Burns are judging the contest.
All right, who are those people?
Here's what's crazy. So Chris and Miracle Burns have been coming to our con for years to do our costume contest. And they've always been involved in costuming as a job for movies and television. But recently, they have done some huge projects. So Chris Burns worked on Wakanda Forever. And he's also been on Black Lightning. He was the costumer for the main character in Black Lightning.
I was about to say that's pretty big, and also Black Lightning had an awesome costume.
He did.
Yeah, and apparently,
did.
guys, just so you know, he was apparently an awesome guy. Chris said he was super great guy to deal with. Miracle was one of the lead costumers for Doom Patrol, which had, the Robot Man thing with Brendan Fraser, and it had all kinds of crazy costumes, Negative Man and everything. So they have been doing a lot of really huge projects. So I think we're really blessed to have them here, and they're really good folks. And Yaya Han, who is maybe the most famous cosplayer in the world. I think 1.5 million people follow her on social media. She's going to be giving away a special Yaya's prize. They'll do all the winners, but she will pick someone that either it's a costume she likes, or she likes some little detail that they did or something like that. And she'll pick a special winner for her prize too.
So that's extremely cool, knowing you're going to be judged by that caliber of guest, and you can go home and say, I won, and yeah, I won this prize and everything. But you know who picked me as a winner? They were on Wakanda, and they were on this, and they were on that. That's how good my costume was. That's awesome. We're going to take a break. As we're going to break, though, I'm going to ask a question. What is the coolest thing you've ever purchased at South Carolina Comicon? Text line 71307 or messages on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, or throw up a comment or whatever it is up there, and we will get to it. What is the coolest thing you ever got at South Carolina Comicon? I've got a tie between the two things that I got that are number one for me.
Same.
So we'll get to that after the break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
You did it. Good job, sir.
I'll forget again about it actually.
So information collector, does that technically make you a furry in that case?
No. Well, maybe. If you're going as one of those dogs.
Can
But
you
look
wear a
like you have to
dog
look like
costume without
you have to look like a fake dog? I mean, you have to look like a velvet dog, though, don't you? Because most of the dogs playing poker they're usually on a velvet painting. So can you make your costume out of velvet?
See, would people understand that though?
Oh, I get it. Wouldn't you?
I don't know. Well,
I'd be running on so little sleep, I probably wouldn't. I try to do better
I was
now.
going to say we've seen you in the con. You're
You know what my record was? Michelle tracked my sleep one year. It was a particularly crazy con with some stuff. We had to, work quickly to solve problems. And in 4 days, I slept 9 hours.
Oh my God, that's not healthy.
It was not. It was not at all. It was all adrenaline and caffeine. It's the only way I kept moving, and it was so great. I talk to people and do not remember it, like whatsoever. They're like, "Hey, I saw you yesterday," and I went, "Yeah." He's like, "You don't remember?" Nope, I do not.
What's your name?
Hello there, you.
How do I breathe again?
So, Chris, if you want to go as Doom Patrol, I'm guessing if you just take a box and like draw a robot head on it and just put it on your head, that will work. And
Or
throw
bandages.
a leather
Lots of
jacket.
bandages.
Yeah, a lot of you can go as Larry with a bunch of bandages. Probably not going to win with the box thing, but I'd appreciate it.
Information collector. Yes, I did. That's completely accurate. I went on a trip without drugs. Yeah, that's fair.
If you've ever went for a long period without sleeping well, there's a haze there that just
Also, information collector. That is funny. He says that we prefer the term canine impersonator.
Yes, canine
Yes,
impersonator. Yeah.
Hey, Chris. Yes, the sleep, man, but nothing compares to that. If you did that, thanks for your service, man. I really appreciate it. If you haven't, you guys, we do a lot with Upstate Warrior Solutions. So, Christopher, if you're a vet, you should check with those guys if you ever need anything. They're a really good veterans organization here in the Upstate. So they're fantastic. We love them. I need to get over and tour their new facility. I have not done that yet.
Where is it?
You're going to asking me things I don't know. I just know they have a new facility here in Greenville. But we did sponsor their Memorial Day hike that's coming up. We're going to be
Nice.
Michelle and I are going to do the 12-mile hike. Last year we did the 6-mile hike. We're going to do the 12-mile hike.
I bet you sleep well after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's hard. At all the points, they talk about someone from our area who is they're a fallen officer or a fallen veteran. That was hard, but also like cool because it's educational and you're meeting these people and you get to say thank you to a relative or someone who served with them.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I really enjoyed the experience and hanging out with a lot of like minds. Hiding in a box.
I think that's been done before, Viper, but yeah, that would work.
It was one of the metal men. See, if you guys don't know who the metal men are, do you?
Doctor Who, right?
No. DC characters. They're
Oh,
all
okay.
made of a different metal. They're all robots.
Oh, is it from Doom Patrol though?
No, it's
Well,
from DC.
Okay.
Metal men, like
DC
so. You would be Mercury.
Yeah. Okay.
Always grumpy, irritable.
Yeah, that's me.
It would be.
I'm hurt.
They got platinum gold. Was it platinum gold, silver? No, platinum gold, tin, iron.
Do they have a magnesium?
They don't, because every time they got wet.
It shine bright.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, Cameron, Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games and South Carolina Comicon, who we have to keep reminding him is next week, next Saturday and Sunday.
I hate you. I hate you. You get to hit it again.
I know what it is. You're pushing the wrong button. It's not. Well, someone keeps pushing 3.
I'm just hitting
Yeah, because
on over here
it's
that I'm
3.
plugged into.
Okay. Well, it was on. I know I didn't
So
turn
here
it.
I am.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway,
Have you tried pressing it harder?
yeah. I could
That
get you
usually
a.
works.
I could get you a hammer, but it's
So wait a
probably.
minute. Am I on now?
Yes, you're on now.
See, I had that button.
No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. You're on now because I turned you on. Yours is like right behind the computer. You must have
How can
moved the
that be? I'm
computer in
plugged
front of
in
it.
over here.
Yeah, I plugged your headphones over there. That way, because that jack doesn't work real well.
Well,
So,
now that makes it.
okay,
But thanks for
yeah.
telling me.
well, you know,
You're killing me over
I'm
here.
I'm all about trying to confuse people.
You
and-
always plug the headphones into the one that has the button.
Look, you're right. You're right.
All right,
It's
now I
my
know to hit
fault.
this button.
Yes, hit that button right
Okay,
there, or
all right.
I'll hit it because you're the guest and I should be turning it on and off.
It doesn't matter.
He
I
is
might
the
have-
exalted Rob. You should be
Yes.
Oh,
doing
Lord.
this.
Yeah, exalted. That's what they called it when my hair fell out.
I am the executive producer here. I should be better
Was that
than
part of the
that.
process?
That was part of the exaltation process.
Wow.
Involved.
That's how that
Was there
works.
a plinth?
Come on, Cameron. Nobody knows what a plinth is.
Hey, at least it wasn't like John Wick. At least I didn't have to put an iron fist. I didn't have to brand my arm.
Yeah, that's true. That did look kind of painful.
I hate it when that
Did
happens.
you guys? We haven't talked about John Wick yet. Did y'all go see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
What were your thoughts? I am curious because I want to hear y'all's.
All right. So
I am
it's,
Klaus.
so it's yes, I'm
Klaus.
Klaus.
I am Klaus.
It's been out long enough that if you haven't seen it, he dies. There. If you're mad at me, I don't care. Because I
Why
don't.
do you lead with that?
Yeah, because I don't think he's really
but
dead.
then he's going to be in
Yeah.
Ballerina, which is a prequel.
Yeah, I don't think he's really dead. So I mean, just because they're laughing about it on his grave, I don't think the king and they're
Because
I don't think
Winston,
he's dead.
because
Yeah.
the Bowery King's just like, well, where do you think he is? And Winston just goes, I have no idea.
Which
There's going to be a show about Winston too.
it's
Which Winston's an interesting character.
the Continental. So
Yeah, I
is it
would
the
love
new
to see
Continental that's being
No,
built,
it's
or is
old.
it an
It's
old one?
Yeah, it's him. It's him. Because that way
Yeah,
you can have a
but-
younger actor do it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's sad because you can't have his right hand man
It really is.
because the actor died, and
That wasn't
2 weeks
creepy at
ago.
all that he died. in
Yeah,
that.
and then
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God. When that happened, I went, this is uncomfortable.
That bothered me a little
Yeah,
bit.
me too. It absolutely it bothered me too. If you go see John Wick, you're doing it because you love stunts. I mean, that's the for the same reason that some people go to see all the Fast and Furious movies, just to see the ridiculous stunts. But John Wick, every time you think they cannot outdo it, then they put him on a horse, and they come up. And I read an article about the guy who's over the whole thing, and said, yeah, he had some more ideas if they decided to do more. There are more ways for So okay.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if they could top what they did with this one.
Oh,
Yeah,
they-
it was-
they can
it was
talk
really
about
good.
it. I'll tell you what I thought.
The stairs, man.
The stairs
The
were a little too
stairs.
much. The kick that would have knocked him down those stairs, his foot would have gone clean through his sternum and out past his spine.
Yeah, but he would have died in the first one if it was
I
realistic.
mean, that was a
Also-
little
Yeah.
too much.
Also, it was a slick day in Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
you know.
I'll tell you my take on it. I like the movie a lot, but in a way, it felt like somebody who really liked John Wick movies tried to make a John Wick movie, not the guys that made the other three.
Yeah, but it was the guy who made the other
I know,
three.
I
so,
know.
yeah.
I'm saying it's like it for me. It was a little bit like I never got quite as engaged emotionally with John as I did in the other three.
Well, the one thing
I think the other thing
there
with
was
this
no
is-
no glass. I missed the glass.
Yeah. The other thing with this
He gets
is
knocked through glass all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
I've been looking at this. I've been thinking about this a lot. John talks less as the movies go on.
It's something.
talks-
What was it? 300 words or something?
Yeah.
But also, if you look at the timeline, it's only a few weeks.
Well, it was only
time,
a few weeks
so,
in
yeah.
between 2 and 3.
yeah,
This one was long enough for him to recover.
Yes.
So probably 6 months,
I think
a
it's
year or something like that.
there's like other theories and stuff going along of like he talks a lot less because he's gone from the guy who was married, the John that was retired back into the killer.
That's a good point. Now he is Baba Yaga.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone back to that.
yeah.
Yes.
By
When he
the
was
way,
away from
Charles
it.
on the stream, like I said, I don't think he's dead. And you leave it open ended like that. if they decide to make another one, and if Keanu decides, yeah, I'll do another one. So,
But if they never do, this is a good way to wrap it up.
And for sure,
absolutely.
I'm going to watch it like 100 more times.
For sure, when it comes
I
out.
mean, it's one of those Lord of the Rings, John Wick. If you're just channel surfing, you stop because you can't help it.
Can you handle watching all of them in a row, though?
Oh, heck yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to give it a shot.
Have you ever done it with Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
It's a day.
I've never made it through all of them without falling asleep, but I'm old. So
Well, that happens with us. We're old. It's expected.
if I have to, I can barely watch anything unless I'm in a theater. It's just watching. I've got to be doing something else at the same time.
Yeah, my son jokes that if I'm watching anything after 10 o'clock, like every minute, the odds are dropping that I stay awake.
Yes.
And he's not entirely wrong. I'm not going to lie.
Except for tonight. You can stay awake tonight.
So it's funny, on a fight night, I get so keyed up that for those that don't know, I'm a big UFC fan. I will stay up. I will watch the entire fight. I will watch the show after the fight. Sometimes I'm up. That's when I'm up till like 3 o'clock or whatever. I can absolutely do that. Once I get past if I stay up past a certain point, my body goes, oh, here, have some adrenaline. And now you can't go to sleep. And then I play Diablo.
It's weird that I can stay up and play a video game at certain hours of the night, and I can stay up pretty late on the weekend. For some reason, when I buy a fight, my eyes just want to close after midnight, and it's like, okay, we just spent money on this. I need to stay awake.
Well, the other thing is, it's like, do you ever have like the post-show crash?
Yes.
I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Because
like adrenaline dump from the show.
Yeah, because like whenever I get done with this, I'm always tired.
Oh man, I just saw we missed the Return of the King extended edition. I actually wanted to watch that.
Well, you can watch it on
Well, no,
on HBO Max.
I want to see it in the theater. I mean, I've got the discs. I want to see it in the theater.
Can you rent out a theater?
Well, he can.
I have.
I mean, he can.
We did it.
Yeah, that's not too invasive of a question. I mean,
we've done it. We did it to raise money for Upstate Warrior Solution. We I'm not going to say the name of the theater, but we have a theater that we kept calling, trying to rent it out for Guardians of the Galaxy. They just won't return our call. We just want to, buy all the tickets, and we can't get anyone to return a call. It's the weirdest thing.
That is.
Hey,
weird.
we want to make you a lot of money. Why won't you call us back?
It's weird.
It is very strange.
There was some management at this theater years ago that was epic and amazing, and we're super cool and super awesome. We did it, I don't know how many times. We even donated to the Roy Rogers Foundation and did a bunch of stuff when they did their fundraisers in the summer for the kids' movies.
Nice.
We did a bunch of stuff with them, but times change.
That they do.
Companies change. Like WWE getting bought out by Endeavor.
Yes. We'll see what comes of that. Hopefully they'll get rid of the chairman eventually, and make things back the way they were going, which was really good. And then suddenly you see someone's hand in things. And
have you seen his new look?
Yes, the mustache is.
You know what he looks like?
It's pretty creepy.
He looks like he only came back and sold WWE because he could not get any pictures of Spider-Man. He looked like J. Jonah Jameson had dyed his hair. That's what he looked like.
I feel like you would make a decent one.
That's what I thought he looked
Yeah,
like.
I do.
The angry part.
When he did that interview with CNBC, if I recall it, so it was with Wayne Newton was trending. A lot of people were trending that people thought he looked like. So it was
what a he's changing his look at what, 77?
77. Yes.
Interesting cat.
Reinventing myself.
Yes. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about guests at South Carolina Comicon because we haven't done that yet. And yes, there are going to be a lot of guests and some really cool guests. And we're going to talk about that after the break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
That's the one.
It's my fault.
I should have known.
The mustache isn't real.
Which microphone?
The mustache is real, and he colored his eyebrows and his hair.
Oh my god!
Yes.
He looks like a bad guy from a
He
black
does,
and white
doesn't he?
movie.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a bad guy from like the next.
Yeah, a lot of people said he's
Hanks,
on his way
Mission
to
Impossible.
he's on his way to
Maybe.
tie some damsel to the train tracks.
Yes.
Penelope.
Yeah.
He looks
Penelope
like he has
Pitstop.
a dog as a henchman.
Someone else said that too. That Snively was his
Yes,
was his
that
guy.
one.
Someone wants to know, will there be TTRPGs at South Carolina Comic-Con? They keep throwing stuff out that I don't know what they are.
Tabletop role playing games
Thank you.
like
No.
D&D.
That's why he's here.
No, there will not. Promise.
I can also do newfound slang. Like,
All right,
Forked Up.
Steven, here's what you do. You pick a day and you go see all of them.
Yeah, so the deal with the RPG thing is like we did a bunch of gaming at the con and it just didn't.
It's not
there's-
going to work.
The problem is there's so much else to do. So I will say over the next couple of years, you will see a gaming con
Okay.
that we will do. We will do a game con. And then later this year, we will announce, since it's just for the folks listening on Facebook and YouTube, and
Yeah.
we will, if you watch this year, we will announce something like SC Comic-Con, probably closer to junior in size, but it won't even be in our state. We're going to do one in another state.
Cool.
So, in an awesome touristy, fun place. So,
Orlando's
stay
on the
tuned.
road.
Stay tuned. That'll be for 2024.
Okay.
I think moving into the store, doing 2 cons and everything else might be suicide if I try to do it this year.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Might be crazy, but we're gonna do something else. I can't help it. Got to do other stuff.
All right, Steven, I, as usual, will not tell anyone who's facing the wall, and it's going to be a little while before the wall happens because of what's going on in the world today. Sometimes I have to put it aside for a while.
Seems fair.
Yeah, I just got to be, yeah. No one's noticed my arsenal yet. I'm disappointed.
Maybe they've noticed it.
I
and
put a
they
lot of
just don't
effort
wanna
into
try to-
that before you got here. I don't
And
even
now
know.
we're in
I
it,
don't
and
even
it's
know
just
if
like,
Rob has
why
noticed
are you
my
not
arsenal.
looking upon my weapons?
I have noticed the arsenal.
Yes. I told you I should have lit it. If I put, and I could have did that. You stopped me. I was going to go get, I have a droid light in my office that has a long.
It's not too
Look, he's-
soon. You
he's
could
the-
go get the droid light and light it.
Yeah, it's
He's
too much
devolving
effort.
into being a Fallout 4 character.
Yes, I am. That's fine.
Soon he's going to be looking for Preston Garvey to like send him out to different.
Hey, I'm
settlements.
ready. I'm ready. You just call me General. I'm going to, or the Ring General if you want.
That is an arsenal wall.
Yeah, this is just my typical wall. And when I'm playing through Fallout, I have one with just swords and
Yeah, so
hand
we've got-
weapons.
We've got a lightsaber.
Yeah.
We've got Negan's bat. We've got, is that supposed to be a Thor hammer or what's that from?
It's actually from Warcraft.
It's Doom.
World of
Hammer.
Warcraft hammer.
And the axe is from Warcraft also.
Nice. And Warcraft. And then what's
Those
the
are when Toys R Us went out of business. I bought those when Toys R Us went out of business, and they were $5 a piece.
Oh wow.
And Michonne's katana.
And I have a
Oh, I wish I had
Bluetooth
a
speaker
sword.
in the nerd cave in there. That's Darth Vader's head. I got that there too.
We're going to be carrying foam replica swords from anime and
Ooh.
video games after the con. I found a good vendor, but I didn't want to do it till after the con because I didn't want to hurt any vendors at the con by us carrying stuff. So
Great. Now I got something else to buy. Lovely.
Well, I have wall space.
Yeah, I'll make some, or I'll just do it in here till they stop me.
Hey, thanks, Steven. Let's not share that to the other Rob though, because we really like him too.
Well, there's a reason why you're referred to.
Yeah,
as
he's at the
Big
hockey
Salty
game
Rob.
right now. Don't worry
He's at the
about it.
hockey game being cool.
We're silly things. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, Cameron, Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games in South Carolina Comic-Con, which is next week, people. Next Saturday and Sunday. Absolutely cannot wait. I asked a question before we went on break. What is the coolest thing you ever bought at South Carolina Comic-Con? This goes for Rob, too. Just because he's running the thing doesn't mean that he hasn't bought something there, because I'm sure he has. But I want to go first because I have a tie between two things, and they're really kind of opposite in a way. The first thing is I think it's like a 12-inch Master Roshi. And this is the first thing that I ever bought at Comic-Con. And it was like two gypsy people in the booth. I mean, because I don't remember the name of the thing, but they look like Sonny and Cher in a way. It was just, and so had a conversation with them, and the guy was like, you've got to put him next to a doll. And I said, yes, I do. Talking about Master Roshi.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation, and this is one of the first anime conversations that I really had with a stranger. And so it just sticks out to me. And then at the time, Tara Servatius, who does our morning show here, we shared an office with me, and someone had brought her a Tara doll and had the Tara doll in there. So I just brought my Master Roshi in there and just had him next to her Tara doll for a while, which was kind of creepy. She didn't get it, but I did. I thought it was hilarious, and I still have that. And that's number one as far as experience goes. The second thing is I bought Lion-O's sword from Thundercats, and it's an actual, it's dulled, but it's an actual sword, and there's a button on it, you push it, and it puts the symbol up on the wall. And I actually made a case and put lights in it and everything, and put it up in my game room. And so I remember the first thing I bought, and I remember the sword. I've also bought a bunch of other stuff and plan on making some purchases next week for sure, but those kind of stand out. Cameron?
All right. I also have a tie between my first ever purchase at Comicon, my first big purchase at Comicon. There's a guy who was selling swords and stuff, and he was selling a life-size replica of Frostmourne from Warcraft, the sword of Arthas Menethil. Man, that thing is huge. I bought that. I brought it into the studio. I remember like the day of, there was another show in there. Was a very built guy too. He's just like, hey, can I hold that? I was like, yeah, sure. I one-hand it. He just about drops it immediately. He was underestimating the heft of the weapon. But yeah, that's currently sitting in my game room right now on a shelf that my buddy's dad made for me. The second purchase was a very large bone or like a dragon skull, like the size of my torso. I have a very sizable torso, by the way.
We've been seeing it for years.
It's like the size of a small child. And it's just like, I really want that. I'm going to put that in my game room eventually. It was sitting in my room for 2 years before I actually was able to like buy a house. And now it's sitting in my game room, like on the corner of one of my desks, just looking out at everything else.
All right, before we get to Rob's, on the text line, by the way, 71307, texture writes, I bought an autograph pic of Arthur Morgan that was drawn by the Rick and Morty comic artist. That's very, very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and on the stream, Information Collector says you got an art print of every superhero you can think of, and a kid standing there looking up at that, and Batman with his hand on the kid's shoulder saying, "You're safe now." Which
that's a cool print.
That is also very cool. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Rob, you run South Carolina Comicon.
So
what's the thing that you
so I've got, it's 3 things. 2 of them are kind of one thing. So the craziest thing I didn't expect was there was a guy with a comic collection, and he had come to sell his collection. So there were a bunch of people over there, and I went over and looked, and I ended up buying, I think it was Amazing Fantasy 15 and Hulk 1. So that was pretty awesome. But from a personal standpoint, I bought a cover piece of original art from a gentleman named Louis LaRosa. He's an incredible artist. He did a lot of work for Marvel. He's worked for Valiant. Right now he works for a company called Bad Idea. And it was an X-O Manowar cover, and I bought it from him, and it's just absolutely incredible. And I loved it. And there's a million things. But I will segue slightly to, do you guys remember the donuts from last year? The guy selling boxes of donuts that had a mysterious comic in them.
I do remember the donuts, but I didn't realize there was a comic book in them.
There's a comic book in them. So it's a company called Bad Idea. They do a bunch of crazy promotional stuff. It is owned by a guy named Dinesh who used to own Valiant. He sold it to a company as the Bloodshot movie was being made and that kind of stuff. And they're going to be back this year with multiple things. And
so look out for weird promotions, because there might be stuff in them.
well, and I'll tell you, if you're a person that likes to collect weird things, the comic that was sold last year, there's only 250 copies of. and all of them were sold at South Carolina Comicon. That's it.
That's pretty cool.
So nobody else could get it. So if there's somebody weird in the lobby and they're selling like weird flavored donuts, there's a comic in there, and the only way you can get it is to buy it there. You're really not buying a donut. You're really buying the comic. And they print these crazy boxes. I've already seen a box that's like a card box. Okay.
Because the guy came up to me, I'm pretty sure last year, and I'm saying, I don't want donuts.
Dinesh. So here's what's really funny. Dinesh, he may have been Dinesh talking to you. Dinesh was also the producer on Bloodshot, the producer of Expanse. He was a producer on The Witcher. So just so you know, it might be kind of a fun conversation. Talk about just about anything nerdy with him, and I promise he will know. He can talk about anything nerdy, but and a really good guy. So if you see those guys, here's a little hint for you. I don't know what this box is going to get used for. I just saw the box, and the box was drawn by a guy. It looked like I can't confirm it, but I think it was drawn by Dave Lapham, who was a big comic artist. But on the box, it actually had stuff from the Bunsen Beaver comic from last year is drawn on this box, but it actually shows people from SC Comicon going to get the comic from last year, and it's drawn on this card box. Looks like about a 300 count card box. That's all I know. I don't know what's going to be in it.
Oh man,
I literally don't know anything. I'm probably cheating and shouldn't tell you all this on air, but I didn't even ask permission, so I might get yelled at.
All right. Well, here's the thing. If you're listening to the show or watching the show, you got some inside knowledge that other people don't have. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Keep that knowledge for yourself.
As Gandalf would say, keep it secret, keep it safe.
There you go. There you go. So check that out. And you've heard us talk about, all of us talked about something different that we bought at South Carolina Comicon. The most awesome thing of all is, in this day and age where people buy so many things online, you don't know what you're getting till it comes in the mail. In this case, you can walk up to the vendors, you can pick the stuff up, you can look at it, you can feel the weight of it, you can talk to the people who are selling it. And I think that makes a difference. It absolutely does, because there's so many things. Cameron, even recently, bought something through the mail.
Bring that back up again?
Well, no, because it's an example of what can happen when
the abhorrent abomination that was shipped to me, the 3-sleeved robe thing that was supposed to be Sith robes but weren't.
Yeah, I mean, so it can happen if you're ordering online. You know how it won't happen?
It only brought me to the dark side of the Force a little closer.
If you come out to South Carolina Comicon, you can go and just take your time, walk around, look at the stuff, talk to the people, pick the stuff up, and buy the stuff. And then you have it in your hand. You know what it's like, and you don't have to worry about waiting for it to come in the mail, hoping that someone doesn't steal it off your porch, or that you get it and go, oh man, I got to send this back. This is not what I ordered.
Also, there's that nerdy sort of like, since I play so much D&D, it feels like especially when like you're looking at like the replica weapons and stuff. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm like immersed in like the shopping part of D&D. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
You feel like you're at a bazaar at Everwinter or something?
There you go. There you go.
Baldur's Gate.
Exactly.
Any of those places on the Sword Coast.
Exactly. All right. So 1 hour in the books. Don't worry. We're still live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter during the top of the hour break. When we come back, we're going to talk more South Carolina Comicon, but we're also going to get back into our video game bracket. We need to crown a champion, which we're going to whittle it down to our top 8 today. And then next week, we will crown a champion. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Mark, FTR are amazing champions. FTR, the new AEW tag team champions. The best tag team in the world.
All right, so I have a problem with that match. And figured FTR was going to win. The problem I have with that match is the referee not disqualifying. And so it takes away from any other match. It was not a no disqualification match. And the fact that the Guns did things in front of the ref and the ref refused to end the match, it looks bad on other matches. I think from a writing standpoint, it bothers me.
They're just due.
That's fine.
These guys,
But a referee is supposed to be impartial. A referee is supposed to be
He was
impartial.
trying to escape, and he wouldn't let him escape. That's the story
Again,
behind it.
Referee
FTRs
impartial.
also were great guys when they were here, and were super cool and super nice.
FTR is boring. They don't do flips and things, or they say they don't, and then next thing you know, they're up on the ring, up on the just one time thing on the turnbuckle. I'm not really doing that. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Quit. Don't bill yourself as something you're not.
No flips, just fist, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not true.
Go FTR.
I think the one way that they saw it, but they're baby faces, so they can't. The one way they solved the referee thing for me is an exchange of money and a hidden video camera. Then I'm good with it. Otherwise,
Right,
it bothers
Top
me.
guys. Don't listen to Alonzo. Top guys. They're great.
So what you're saying is they're not
Is
mid.
Curtis? Oh, okay. We're looking at the prelims because
Speaking of fixed things, the last time I paid for a pay-per-view, when John Jones got up there and it was just ridiculous.
Cyril Gahn is awful.
Yeah, it was. It
wasn't fixed. Just I told everybody, I'm like, let me get this straight. Francis Ngannou took this guy down and held him down for 5 rounds. The guy who has never shot a takedown in his UFC career. And so I'm like, the minute he goes against John Jones, who has taken down an Olympic wrestler in Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, he is going to just throw him on the ground and choke him out first round. I told my wife, "Let's get out of the first round."
Yeah, if Jones would have come back and did a couple bouts before he got a championship match, it wouldn't bother me so much. But you bring him back for that, just hand him the belt because that's what you're doing.
Well, but what else is it going to be? I mean, it's fine.
Stipe, he should have fought Stipe before he got a shot at the title.
They wanted,
and they wouldn't let him fight Stipe because Stipe is probably going to beat him. At least I hope so.
Stipe will not beat him.
We'll see.
As much as I want Stipe to win. I want Stipe to win.
I just want someone to beat John Jones. He's taking so much of my money just for me to try and see him lose, and it does not happen. You can walk out in the hall and unless you think you can do it without. Okay. All right. I mean,
What I am worried about is the glare. Look at that glare.
I can turn the lights down if you want.
It's a wonderful sheen.
It really is.
Well, that took care of it. Hey, you're good now.
I gotta have the hat on.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta have the hat on. All right. The hat's a thing.
By the way, Mom, if you just happen to be watching, don't text me in the middle of the show. I mean,
Oh, and
I can't text
I don't know
back.
if John's listening on air or what. John, you're welcome. Somebody texted me and said thank you for the heads up on the Bad Idea comic.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you. You're welcome.
By the way, did I mention we have complimentary pizza?
You did not, but that's okay. I'm having
it's a little warm in here for
having
pizza anyway.
Tacos.
Ooh.
When I get home during the fight, which is
look at that. Got the A crew on today.
Oh yeah, we do. Man, that is literally the A crew.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
Someone
Anik and Rogan and Daniel, like those guys are incredible together.
Someone meshed them with the fight with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and
Yeah,
it was really good.
They are. Somebody called us the Three Amigos in the feed, which, by the way, thank you. That's a huge compliment.
It's a compliment from me and Cameron.
Those guys are the Three Amigos.
No, I agree, Trey. Stipe is the kind of guy everyone should root for.
Man, really, what a great guy.
He's a firefighter, all that kind of stuff, and
great guy.
But when they went to him to show the look on his face after, it's like, I mean, he's thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. They just should just hand him the belt.
I'm gonna go get that paycheck, win or lose. And my kids aren't going to have to work if they don't want to. Well, he's the guy that will make them work.
If John Jones doesn't do something to mess up and doesn't fight again.
John Jones would screw up a major fight?
I know.
By popping for, I don't know, steroids or cocaine or, John's never done anything like that. Lonzo. Why would you say that?
Yeah, I don't know. Hearsay. That's what it is.
And man, we need to go to All In London. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would require flying, but it would be fun. Lonzo don't fly. If Lonzo's going to fly, he's not flying across the ocean.
By boat.
Actually, that is having done that flight one time, that is a quicker flight than you think. It's only 5 hours.
So, by the way, Steven, I am not a Zelda guy, and I personally hope it loses today. But, I'm just saying that because I know Matthew's watching.
How big the U.S. is.
Well,
And if
what-
it does
people
lose
will
today,
think that
Matthew, it has
you know,
nothing to do with me.
it's-
I will tell you, I'm not picking
They'll
it,
be like,
but
they
other
do this
people
in
will.
this other country or whatever the thing is. I'm like, that's the size of Rhode Island.
Yes.
The logistics are different at scale.
Something I was watching an interview with Hugh Laurie. He was talking about his experiences in America, and he was saying like how how in Britain they could pick apart all these different accents and stuff. In America, he all the time he would use his American accent. And they'd think he's American. He's like, America's too big to know itself to a degree as far as that goes. It's like he's right.
Well, I don't know. I think he says that, but like we can.
Well, he
all
wasn't
do,
saying it in a mean way.
yeah,
He
but
was
we
saying-
can do Boston. We can do. There's a bunch of different accents.
Yeah,
that
there's
we,
just so many different
There's
regions.
a bunch of
and stuff.
different Southern accents. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, there are.
welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo Cameron and Rob Young having a blast on a Saturday night. Thank you for taking us with you wherever you're going. I mean, it is rainy and nasty outside, but you're still out there going somewhere because it's probably not raining inside wherever you're going. Cameron and I went to see the Mario movie earlier today. Hopefully we'll get to that. We're going to try and give you a review of that and tell you if it's okay to take your children to it or if you should just go by yourself. So we will get to that. I'll make sure we get to that. I know I do that thing where I'm not doing that thing because I would never do that to you guys
You
ever
certainly
again.
wouldn't point out
Ever
that
again.
thing.
I would not. And
then
yes,
still
'cause-
do the thing.
no. That's definitely not
Do
me.
the swerve.
Yeah, I would not do that. One thing I will do, and because we need to whittle this down, is we're going to get to the Upstate Pulse video game brackets. It's time to get this down to our Elite 8. And because Matthew and Tim are not here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to alternate picks between their picks, and Rob is going to pick himself. Do you know why? Because he's here and he's a sponsor and you guys aren't. And raspberry sounds, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get something on my mic screen. It's already kind of nasty and I don't want to clean it. But anyway, I know it's gross, but anyhow. All right. So let us get to crowning a champion video game for the Upstate Pulse. Before we get to our first matchup, I want to tell you how this works. If we get to a tie, which happens quite a bit, we will go to the text line. The text line is 71307. Here's what I would do if I was playing at home. I would listen to the picks, and as we're going around and discussing it, I would go ahead and have the number ready and have the name of the game that I wanted to go through ready to go in case there's a tie, so I could be the one to push my game through. That's what I would do. By the way, text line 71307. So if there's a tie, one of us will give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1. Not all this 5, 4, 3, and all this. No. 3, 2, 1. Everyone's trying to clever it up. We need to be as simple as possible for everyone who's trying to get in there first. And, because you're antsy, you're ready to hit that send button, and people making you wait. I don't want to do that.
Who would ever do that?
Yeah,
What kind
yeah.
of monster?
I can tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't me. So let us get to
Thank you,
our
Shaggy.
first pick, and it is Final Fantasy versus Destiny. And I'm going to go first. And by the way, some of these are franchises. So as far as Final Fantasy goes, maybe you're a 7 guy or girl. Maybe you're a 10. Maybe you're a 14. Maybe you're the online. Maybe you were an OG back Final Fantasy 1, or maybe you imported some of the ones that were out in Japan and never were here. I know a place where you can get some video games like that, by the way. Borderlands Comics and Games. Check it out. Yeah.
We also buy them.
There you go. 410 South Pleasantburg Drive. Check it out. So Final Fantasy versus Destiny. Now here's the problem that I have with this. I have someone that I know who's probably related to me, more than likely. Might share my last name, might look like me in some ways, might actually be on this program, who is a big time Destiny fan to the point where he's got rings and shirts and jackets and all that kind of stuff. But Final Fantasy X for me beats anything Destiny. Final Fantasy X is my favorite of all time. And Yuna is one of my favorite characters of all time. Titus, whatever his name is. Even though he may be a dream, he's a heck of a blitzballer. So I am going with Final Fantasy. And I'm not going to talk a lot about Destiny because I'm going to leave that to Cameron.
All right. Well, obviously, Final Fantasy is a major powerhouse in this, and Destiny is very much near and dear to my heart. And honestly, I can't go against it now, due to the fact that we lost our good and honorable commander Zavala, Lance Reddick. So I can't, in good conscience, vote against Destiny, especially with the amount of friends and memories and stuff I've built out of this game. The memories, not the friends. I didn't build the friends. I made those.
You could build friends. You can do that.
You can, but that's a different thing. But yeah, it's just
You could also buy them online, but that's definitely a different thing.
that is definitely a different thing. Would not advise that. Definitely don't do that on Craigslist.
Unless you're lonely. I mean, anyway, go ahead.
There are
All
bars.
right.
There are bars.
Right. Yeah, go to a bar, meet someone in person.
Or that too. I was saying like the
It's a
bar.
weird thing.
I mean, that's too low of a bar.
Or get a cat. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, get a cat. Well, yeah, I mean, it has some of the, it has extremely good story, some of the best gunplay I have ever experienced in a video game. I have not seen any other, or I've not played any other game that equals it since. It's just so much. It's just fun, smooth, good gameplay, good story, good community. I'm going with Destiny.
All right, Rob, who you got?
Man, so this is a tough one for me because I'm a fantasy guy in general. But given that Lance Reddick was in Destiny, and one of my good buddies, actually, who is the, I guess, general manager for Bedrock, who will be at SC Comicon from Houston, played Destiny a ton. I think I'm going to go with Destiny.
Wow, I was not expecting this.
I wasn't either.
I gotta say, so we have 2 Destinies and we have 1 Final Fantasy. Now we're going to alternate between Matthew and Tim as far as this goes. And we're going to go in alphabetical order by last name, which means Kazi would be before Snow. But I can tell you that both of them picked Final Fantasy. So we have ourselves a tie with the very first pick. So here's how this works. Your favorite game that you want to go through, is it Final Fantasy or is it Destiny? Text line is 71307. Don't send it yet. Don't send it yet until Rob gives you the countdown.
3, 2, 1.
All right, there we go. Countdown is in. Text line 71307. Final Fantasy or Destiny?
Come on,
Which one
Destiny.
goes through? The first text that comes in, you will push it through and
Boom.
you will make someone mad. What is it? Did it show up on yours and not
Yep,
show up on mine?
Final Fantasy.
Oh,
How is that? Why is this thing not updating?
Then Destiny.
There we
then
go.
Final
There we go.
Fantasy.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Someone also texted Doom. Yeah, that would not be it. So Final Fantasy
although a good game.
goes through. Yeah, it is. Didn't make it as
One-
far as
one
our
of the
games
best
go.
Games. Like how could that not be? Seems like one of the greatest games.
All right, our next matchup is.
What accent is that?
All right, so I try to cover for myself when I mispronounce something, and then you point it out, and then people think that I actually messed up.
Well, no,
Thanks.
because all right. You went
Thanks.
Michigander.
Yeah.
I can't.
First of all, no, I did not. That will never happen for me.
You sure?
Nothing Michigan will. No. I may have went Canadian, but now I'm Michigander.
Well, I mean, it is just South Canada.
It is
but
Canada South, exactly. All right. So the next matchup is tough for me, kind of. It's a Mass Effect versus Guitar Hero. Cameron, why don't you go first?
I'll just say, remember what Tim did. Here's the thing. Guitar Hero was a good progenitor, but it beat out something that I believe was better than it in the first place.
Bro, what? Why
So-
you use them daggum big words for, feller?
It's because my father let me read a lot of very large books.
He's
when I
been
was younger.
talking this way since he was 5. Go ahead.
Yes, that's how. All right. Honestly, I learned how to talk. I used to have a really bad stutter when I was a kid, and what really helped me develop my speech and be able to talk coherently is to talk like how I've read books. Most of the books I've read are very much in the higher tier of writing. So blame him. I'm pointing at my father.
All right, continue on.
Okay. To journey on forth. But Mass Effect, I believe, has had a much more profound impact on me, just story-wise. It's one of my favorite sci-fi stories. So I'm gonna have to go with that.
All right, Rob, who you got?
Man, all my buddies played Mass Effect, but I used to play Guitar Hero with my kids.
So there
So
you go.
I got to go Guitar Hero because we played it together and had a good time.
Okay, so since we're flipping between Matthew and Tim, it's Tim's turn, and Tim picked Guitar Hero. So we have one Mass Effect, we have two Guitar Heroes. I'm not gonna say this is unprecedented because it's not. We have a tie because Mass Effect, one of my favorite games of all time, one of my favorite series of all time, and I love Guitar Hero, but I believe Guitar Hero wrongly went fourth when Rock Band should have won. And I feel like that was against me and it was an affront. I took offense and therefore I will not pick Guitar Hero, even though it was the original. Plus, it's going against Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And I played Rock Band with my. We did Beatles Rock Band.
Yeah, we have that too.
We played that. That was fun.
Yeah, we still.
By the way, Lego Rock Band was the birthplace of Pappy.
It was. And
was it really?
Yes, it was.
And here's the thing. We still, every Christmas, we all pick a song and we play Rock Band. But since Rock Band didn't go through, screw you, Guitar Hero. But I'm picking Mass Effect, which means there is a tie between Mass Effect and Guitar Hero. Now, I know you are, you're texting already, but you can't until I give you the countdown. And here's the countdown.
Can we give the number again?
I'm going to.
We're like, why does the stream not count? And it's hard to try to time it.
Because it doesn't, because this is a text only thing. We started doing it before the stream existed. And people are angry about me using the text line for it. So I'm going to do that. Plus, the text line shows up when the suits are looking. So, I mean, not that I would be doing that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, stream numbers show up too. I'm going to. I'm having fun just in case. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if I get a text from the powers that be. I want to see if LexCorp's listening or not. All right. Text line is 71307. When you hear the countdown, Guitar Hero or Mass Effect? Mass Effect or Guitar Hero? I see you guys are texting. I see you're trying really hard, but I haven't given the countdown yet. But I'm going to now. 3, 2, 1. Text 71307. No, hasn't happened yet. That was already there. Either Guitar Hero or Mass Effect.
I'm not cheating.
Yeah, well,
maybe
a
little.
For some reason, yours is coming through before mine. I don't like that. All right, text line 71307. Guitar Hero or Mass Effect. The next one that comes through.
It's not Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not it. So
that's not it. Next one.
No, that's not it. That is not
Hero.
Oh, tack on it. Mass Effect taken down by Guitar Hero. I am
It is the Newman of this bracket.
Yes.
It is.
Newman.
I am
Hello, Newman.
I am appalled. I am angry. I am so many things. The next matchup is a major matchup, but we're not going to do it till after the break.
How would you feel if Guitar Hero beat
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
I would be hurt, distraught. Probably would need therapy. I don't know. We'll see.
Dad, get Trot.
We'll see. Whatever Straught is, I might be doing that. Let's Straught on to break. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I also said Trot.
All right, admittedly, I don't know about the next one. I do not know about the next one. This is the hardest one.
You did kind of shoot yourself in the foot with that.
I know, Matthew. I
am too, actually.
Be worried, Matthew, because you got something coming up that you're really rooting for.
We'll see what I've got. This next one, I mean, I know who I'm going to pick, but it's not one I really have a dog in the fight.
Oh, I do. I do, and I don't know.
Now, are we doing both sides of the bracket tonight?
Gonna try. Yeah.
We got to do the top one on the other side.
Yes, I know.
Actually, the top two on the other side.
That's fine.
I feel you, information collector, because, yeah, that was not a good feeling.
I don't. How did that beat Doom? Like, I don't even understand. Serious? And Ultima. Oh, my God, Ultima was so good.
Yeah, ties have a lot to do with it. So they absolutely do.
I played Ultima.
Also, Steven, I'm sorry your Nintendo representative is not here.
I think I played Ultima on I don't know if it was an Amiga or a 64. That's how
What,
long
Ultima?
Ultima.
I've never seen gameplay for that.
Oh, I mean, now you'd go, my God, this is awful.
Well, I mean, I don't look at older games like that. I look at
Give Matthew a break text line. I was actually here running it. I didn't notice it.
What? What did you not notice?
It's saying that Matthew said Marine Corps instead of Marine Corps. I mean, you know, I didn't hear it, so I'll take your word for it. I think I would have noticed, but you know,
bit of a difference.
but it was a long day for me. So I mean, you know, I was here 11
You guys have to
hours.
go to the con, then come to a show.
We're going to do that.
I know it's a long day for you too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Don't worry, I'll keep him awake.
Remember last year?
You did the show from the drink and draw.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we're not going to do it this year. There were too many things we were adding, and I felt like it would get to be.
By the way,
we
that
would mess
was
something up.
It was a blast doing it from there.
Well,
I mean,
we can do it next year. We'll
just,
figure it out.
Just
I loved auctioning. I loved being in the auction while we were doing the
yeah,
show.
and the other cool part was no one had done that before. I love when we do stuff that no one's done before with that amount of computers and being
Yeah.
able to do StreamYard before anybody else in the building with all that and make it work. I love doing that.
Maybe next
They-
year.
When you're the first to do something, they can't take it
fun.
away from you.
Exactly. Maybe next year, if you guys do end up doing that, I'll actually have the costume together, and maybe I'll be able to do the show live in costume.
We'll make you come up on stage and auction something off.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Steven, Ultima was totally before its time.
The best part was when Rob Brown was trying to win a Wonder Woman print, and then my wife got into the bidding. It's like
I kept
What's
going
funny
back
was,
and
like,
forth.
I-
Wait a minute, I know who's down
started-
here bidding. Wait a minute, there's a bid coming from that. I was like, what is happening over here?
yeah, it's just
because all right. So Rob said initially that he wanted to get that Wonder Woman, and I was like, maybe I'll bid for it too. He's like, you wouldn't do that, right? And I just stared at him, and I started bidding
You're
against
like,
him.
no.
And then Mom, like you were pointing out, Mom outbid all of us. I'm just like, well, crap, you're out of luck, Rob. Because if I would have won, I would have given it to him. And he's like,
He was bidding twice and still lost.
yeah. I still have it at home. I mean,
Yeah.
I could give it
And
to
he's
him.
just-
I might eventually.
I think he said something to Dad. I was just like, she'll get that to me, right? I was like, no, buddy, you're never getting that. You're never seeing that again.
She actually said she is saving it for her granddaughter. So I mean,
Aw.
there's that.
It's kind of awesome.
Yes,
I like that.
I'll take a picture of it and send it to Rob. Here you go. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, Cameron, and Rob Young having a blast on Saturday night in the middle of our video game bracket, trying to get down to our Elite Eight. We will crown a champion next week. My turrets go off every once in a while. Someone on the fan said I have Southern turrets. They meant Tourette's, but you know, so my turrets go off on occasion.
Do they shoot grits?
I hope not. No, they shoot boiled peanuts. They're soft and
Oh.
soggy and
Oh,
just,
that's worse.
yeah, I know. All right, let's get to our next.
That's like a slight level of moist, which is worse than
Yes.
more moist.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Let's get to our next matchup, which is the hardest matchup in the entire thing for me so far, and that would be Elder Scrolls versus Kingdom Hearts. I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 was one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in a game, and I've beat Elden Ring. I'm just saying. At least for me, my gaming skill at the time, which I know I've improved, it was very difficult. And I liked 2 and 3, but 1 I think was the harder boss. And then Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls, the thing is, I was playing Skyrim yesterday. I mean, it's my go-to game. It's a game I go back to, especially with mods. There are so many different things, and people are still like 11 years later, still coming up with mods that add quests and things like that. So it's a game that never ends. And I've been playing 11 years. I've only beat it once because I don't care to beat it. I mean, you're just in there and you're just out going around and you know, taking out dragons and stuff. And then I've already talked about Kingdom Hearts. I'm going Elder Scrolls. Rob?
Elder Scrolls.
Cameron?
This is a really hard choice for me too, but I think I'm going to go with Elder Scrolls.
Okay, so there we go. 3 for Elder Scrolls. It is T2's turn in the rotation. Tim Snow picked Kingdom Hearts, which I figured he would, mostly because of Sephiroth. And I don't blame him there. So Elder Scrolls goes through. I got to admit, I was worried. I was definitely worried. But at the same time, I'd have been okay either way because I love both of those games. Now, the next matchup, this is interesting. This really is interesting. It is Pokemon versus Spyro. And Spyro is kind of a dark horse in
How
here.
did Spyro make it through those 2 rounds?
Yeah, it's kind of a
That
dark
makes my
horse.
brain explode.
It's kind of a dark horse and a Cinderella, if you will, as far as brackets go. Spyro would be that Cinderella. The thing is, a lot of Cinderellas, they go out in 2nd or 3rd round. This will be the 3rd round. Cameron, who you got? Pokemon or Spyro?
I'm going to go Pokemon.
All right, let us go with Matthew, who chose, like I really need to look at it, Pokemon. So, Rob, who you got?
In honor of all the people who come in my store and buy the Pokemon card game, without a doubt, our winner is Pokemon.
All right. Yes. And it is a clean sweep because I am also going Pokemon. Had a lot of fun with Pokemon. One of the few Nintendo games that I really like. Had it on Game Boy Advance. I believe was the first time that we had it. Played it on GameCube, which was a stadium thing.
Yeah.
And enjoyed that. And we also have it now on our Switch. All right. The next matchup, the matchup of all matchups. The one that can make certain people break their computer, but they're not here. So, I mean, if things go the way that it might possibly go, someone's not going to be happy about it. And they're going crazy on stream. By the way, if you want to see us on stream, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Either look up 98.9 WORD or the Upstate Pulse, and you can see us there. All right. We have Diablo versus Zelda, and Rob is going to go first.
And you're awesome for letting me go first on this one. So I have been playing Diablo since Diablo 1. I've played it on every platform there is. I snuck into some kind of alpha test
whatever
thing.
Whatever.
But I haven't played it when everybody else has because I haven't even bought the new one yet. I need to buy it and get my PS5 hooked up. So I'm clearly going Diablo, and I still think it might be the game I've had the most fun playing ever. Because it's kind of like Elder Scrolls for you, where like I will go play and I'll be playing and doing whatever, wandering around. I still play Immortal sometimes on my phone, and I'll look up and go like, I guess I had a quest or something, but I don't really care. I'm just going around doing what you do.
All right. Before I get to anybody else, let me go to a couple of texts. Text line 71307. Obviously, you've been texting. That's how we know who's going through in some of these ties. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts, great graphics, story, and score. Beautifully done. Best game. A texter writes. Another texter says anybody but Spyro. Another texter says Pokemon moves on, but Kingdom Hearts doesn't. Next thing you know, Lizzo will be his Star Wars character. Yeah, we'll get to that. You guys I didn't even know it was her till the end. Rob doesn't know, but Lizzo was just in Mandalorian, married to Jack Black. And it was great. I don't
get what everybody was so upset about.
It's because she's a, as we say on the fan, a sturdy woman, and she dances, and they're sturdy women are supposed to, and she raps about some nastiness.
I was about to say, she is far more wholesome in Star Wars than she is in, her usual career.
Yeah, no, I didn't know it was her till the end because she's got so much the costume and everything. That's the thing. That's the thing. She wasn't scantily clad.
The costume looks pretty cool.
It is very cool.
It
looks
looked
really
good.
good.
It was very cool.
Especially with the holographic
Yeah,
cape behind
Yeah,
her. It was great.
no, it's awesome. And she's married to Jack Black, and of course it's Jack Black. He's hilarious. But neither one of them are the best cameo on the thing. That would be one Christopher Lloyd.
Yes. Which is why I put the tagline that I have on there.
That would be one Christopher Lloyd. Yes. All right. So Cameron,
What a great name on there. Hellgate.
Yes. Cameron, we got one Diablo. What you doing?
2 Diablo?
2 Diablos?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, to supplement what I was saying with my vote, Diablo has been a series I've played since I was a child. Diablo 2 is one of the games I've put more hours in than anything else. Just playing on that, that tan crappy looking computer that hand-me-down computer that I had in my room for ages upon ages.
You're welcome.
I do thank you for that. Yes.
You've returned it in kind.
I have.
Yeah. You gave me your old gaming computer, which is much better than the one I gave you. But at the time, it's probably
I loved it at the time.
Okay, all right.
I'm just I'm painting a picture here.
All right, so
it was my comfort game too, and still is.
In the interest of time, Cameron goes Diablo, Rob goes Diablo, and Matthew on the stream, he couldn't be here because he's busy doing stuff, says fingers crossed on Zelda, but I fear I know the room. You do know the room, because here's the thing. I own Skyrim on every system that I have. I also own Diablo on every system that I have, not just 1, but 2 and 3. So, and I did play both betas. Wasn't lucky to get the alpha, and I really appreciate someone throwing it in her face every time, because I know I'd do the same thing if I could, but we can't.
Only because it bugs you. And you got to play more betas than I did.
Yeah, that's true.
Play the one I didn't
but one thing I'm doing is
We got a wolf cub.
I'm not buying Diablo yet, because if the Blizzard thing goes through, which is very close to going through, Diablo's got a good shot of being on Game Pass, and then I won't have to buy it.
Are they trying to put it on Xbox?
Yeah, well,
Microsoft
is buying it. Yeah, PlayStation's trying to stop it, and they're in court in England because, maybe they thought that the British would be more on their side. But every time we see updates, it looks a little more like Blizzard's actually going to go through with the sale.
They have wigs. They have power.
Yeah, they do. So if that happens, then there's a good shot that ends up on Game Pass, and I don't have to pay full price for it. I will pay full price for it, but being frugal there's nothing wrong with that. Sorry about Zelda, but I also am going Diablo. Diablo goes through. And here's the thing. If Tim and Matthew both would have been here, it would have been a different story, but they weren't. And I get they had stuff to do, and it would have been a tie. But you know what? It wasn't. That's just how that works. All right, the next matchup that we need to get to is Borderlands versus God of War. All right, so I have God of War on my PS4. Don't have a 5 yet. Probably be a while before I end up doing that, just for PSVR 2, because the helmet looks like it wouldn't be as heavy, and I can't wear mine for very long because I have a Predator trophy skull on my neck. So, I mean, the things just do not fit as well. I know you guys see it. I know it exists.
I constantly see those 3 dots on you.
Yes, Matthew says R.I.P. Link. He's still there. You can still play him. So Borderlands versus God of War. God of War, I know, a highly lauded game. A lot of people love the thing, but I've never played it. And so that's what it really comes down to. I played some Borderlands. And again, I'm probably, for the most part, I'm going to root for Borderlands because of Chris Rager. Because I got to interview him when he was at South Carolina Comicon a couple years with Josh Martin.
What a nice guy.
Josh Martin, rather.
They were both lovely.
Yes, and I said his last name wrong, and so now I'm going to always call him Rager because he thought it was funny. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go Borderlands. Cameron.
Well, Borderlands is one of my favorite shooters. It had a lot of great mix of comedy and gunplay. The classes were awesome. Zero is still my favorite character from the series, just because you go invisible, you're a ninja, you're taking out all these like different robots and bandits and stuff. And Handsome Jack is still one of the best villains of all time, just because he just mocks you constantly and just says crap over the radio. So Borderlands is my vote as well.
Already got 2 Borderlands. Rob.
Do I even? I played God of War, but I don't even have a choice here.
You kind of have to go.
I
for it.
have to vote Borderlands. I think the information collector has collected the right data, if you will, in the stream there.
How
yeah.
did he know?
Oh, wait a minute. I get it now.
You're serious?
Yes, so I have to vote Borderlands. Now, Handsome Jack was also a guest at SC Comicon.
When?
Was that 19? I think it was 19.
Man, I should have gotten something from him.
Yeah, he was there.
That would have been one of the ones I would have really. Yeah.
All right, we have 2 more matchups that we're going to get to after the break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here. I'll noob myself afterwards.
Well, you didn't say it.
Yeah, but I'm close enough to noob
Well, you
myself.
don't noob yourself for wrong things.
Yeah, I'm going to. I deserve it. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse on 98.9 WORD, News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
So, I will show you guys before I take off. So I was in an auction. And I was looking at some stuff on there. And you guys are gonna rig. So you're nerdy enough to know about Judges Guild, right? So Judges Guild is the first third-party Dungeons and Dragons product.
Mm-hmm.
Started in the 70s. Right? In an auction at Heritage Auction House, they had original art, 6 pieces of original art from 1979 and 1980 from Judges Guild.
Ooh.
And apparently people were not, it's comic art usually or fantasy art, and they didn't, there was some Frazetta stuff coming up. People were like, me, they were throwing like little bids. I was like, no, I need all of it.
Well, because you understood the worth of it.
Because I knew what it was. Yeah, eventually it will be a thing when people figure out what it is.
Yeah.
So I bought all of it.
That was a good buy.
I will have to show it to you guys. But it is nothing like incredible, but really fun stuff. And it's also by Kevin Samida.
Well, to a degree, it's nerd history.
He did riffs, and I think, and some of the other Palladium stuff that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they've been around RPGs forever. So.
All right, so we're going to come back. We're going to do these 2 matchups. Yes, you guys are going to hear me direct. We're going to do these 2 matchups, then a quick recap of Mario. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to take our final break. Then we're going to come back and talk Comic-Con to finish up the show.
Sure. And then we're going to go home and eat tacos and watch fights. Okay, at least I'm going to go home and eat tacos and watch fights.
I might be doing a raid in Destiny, so.
I haven't gotten that text yet saying that my wife has bought it yet. So I'll decide when I get home. But, it's only 8:40.
I'll tell you what, the top, who doesn't want to see Masvidal Burns?
Well, Masvidal has said if he loses again, he's probably done.
Well, he's not going to make a title run, and he's got plenty of money. And people forget how long that dude's been fighting. He fought with Kimbo Slice.
Oh, dang. Yeah, he's old.
Yeah,
he was like 18 years old. It was 21 years ago. I think he's 38 or something.
Yeah, that's definitely an old age to be fighting.
By the way, Matthew, if Kratos was real, we probably would have all voted for him.
That's not Matthew. That's Dave.
Yeah, I'm terrified
Dave,
of Kratos.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I would be. Yes.
Sorry, I'm seeing Twitch and there's more than one. Yeah.
Boy.
Of course, Diablo. Oh, I love the God
All right, I got the double noob. I see, and the thing is, Tim's not listening, so he'll be like, "You never get noobed," because I don't get noobed when he's here.
I can witness.
Yeah, everyone's heard it happen to me except for him. It's not my fault that I'm perfect when he's here. Maybe because he does such a good job that he messes up and I get to noob him. So
he's
it's
a
not
good dude. I miss him and Matthew not being
Yes, yeah, me too. Just think of how things would have been different if you guys would have showed up. I mean, but you do what you do. All right, the next matchup is Fable versus Dark Souls. Now it's all the Dark Souls. Now this is going to be very difficult for me, which is why Cameron's going first. Fable, Dark Souls.
I do feel like this is a little difficult for me because I love Fable. Fable is one of my favorite franchises because of it was never the best of games, but it was always the best of feels to a degree of like I could get immersed in it. I can enjoy it for the magic, the combat, and all that stuff. Dark Souls for me was one of those games. It actually taught me something. It's one of those things that it reinforced the ideology of working hard pays off, patience, watching and learning and paying attention to things will pay off for you in time. It's one of the few games that's actually impacted me in that sort of way, which is why I'm going to have to go with Dark Souls with FromSoft because it's that much of an impact on me.
All right, Rob.
We have a lot of guys that I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's a Dark Souls RPG and a Dark Souls board game that you can buy miniatures for and stuff. So I have to go with Dark Souls to support the guys that buy all that stuff in the shop.
All right, so Fable, I absolutely loved. I did, and Dark Souls games get on my nerves to a degree to where because I couldn't play them in the evening because then I can't go to sleep because you get so hyped up because you're doing so well and then you die and you got to start all over again. It's such a pain in the butt. But something changed when Elden Ring came out. And I spent so much time with Elden Ring, and I never thought that I would have joy in gaming and playing Elden Ring, and I absolutely did, without a doubt. It's not the first Dark Souls-esque game I beat. I forget the name of the other one.
Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen. I beat that. And I came close, I think, on 2 or 3 of Dark Souls to beating it. And then another game came along and I just stopped playing it. But it didn't happen to Elden Ring. I mean, last year we spent a lot of time playing Elden Ring.
Yes, we did.
Not that I didn't spend a lot of time playing Fable, but I got to go with Dark Souls because of Elden Ring. You would think because it's so difficult, I'd go against it, but I beat it. And that
not only you beat it, but you crushed it.
Yeah.
All right. So you did.
I picked one of the hardest builds to beat it on.
And then you absolutely crushed it in every single. It looked easy. It looked like you were playing on easy mode with the build that you eventually settled on.
It was not easy, but
you
I
made
did
it look that way.
Yeah, but I did it
because you were hitting so hard. You would just chunk all of these bosses whenever I'd come back up to your house. It's just like. That was hard for me.
So I did that. So I did that thing where I tank everything because that's just me. If there's a way to tank something, people don't think I can tank in Hogwarts, but I am tanking to a degree. If you can tank in a Magic game, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I tanked with a move where with a large sword, you do the spin and you come down with the sword, and that's how I was beating the thing. All right, we have one final matchup. And then we will get to our Elite 8. And again, next week after South Carolina Comicon, when we get in, we will, after we talk about all the stuff that we bought and how much fun we had at South Carolina Comicon, we will crown a champion. But one last matchup, and it's kind of a weird matchup. It is Donkey Kong. And there's a ton of Donkey Kong games, including Donkey Kong Country, the one with the bongos that Matthew always tells me what it's called, and I forget, which is kind of a rhythm game. But a ton of things, ton of games that Donkey Kong came out with. And then there's Star Wars. And when we say Star Wars, it's any Star Wars game, whether it's SWTOR, KOTOR, Fallen Order, any of the Star Wars games. You know what? Lego Star Wars. Whatever Star Wars that you're into, that's what it is. And I don't see Donkey Kong going anywhere. I'm just going to say right away. I am going with Star Wars. Cameron.
I am also going with Star Wars.
Always the contrarian. I'm going Donkey Kong.
All right. So
someone has to be the Donkey Kong guy.
Well, that's just good being that. I would tell you Matthew and Tim both went Star Wars. So Star Wars goes through. All right, so we are going to review the Mario movie in just a minute, but let me tell you what our matchups are for next week. We have in our Elite Eight, Final Fantasy versus Guitar Hero. I don't know why, but that's fine. We have Elder Scrolls versus Pokemon. That's going to be fun. We have Diablo versus Borderlands, and we have Dark Souls versus Star Wars.
Diablo Borderlands makes me cry.
Hey, there can be only one.
You won't have to make the choice, Rob.
Yes, there
If
can
your
be.
head comes away from your shoulders.
There can
It's
be.
over.
That's right. Thank you. Some people got that.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
There we go. So the upgrade also got it. The Kurgan, one of the best bad guys of all time, and now
Andy's in John Wick.
and he's
How crazy was that?
and he's Mr. Krabs. I mean, so there's that too. He's Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob SquarePants. That dude is
He
everywhere.
made more money off that than
Probably.
anything he ever did.
Yeah, Clancy Brown. Yeah, great actor. All right,
All
so
I had to do was lose a finger.
speaking of voice acting, Cameron and I went to see the Mario movie today. Matthew went to see it a couple days ago. Matthew said he liked the movie, and I think that
Is the highest praise.
that's high praise for sure from him.
Why am I not in that movie?
Yeah, because he came in wanting to hate it, and he liked it because he was and I correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew, but unhappy with the casting of Chris Pratt as Mario. But the original voice of Mario was actually in the movie.
Pretty present. For the
Yes,
most part.
yes, he was. I had a lot of fun with this movie. The voice actors are a ton of people that you've heard of before, but this movie is made for kids, but the soundtrack is made for 80s kids. There's some AHA in there. There was some AC/DC in there, if I recall. There was some
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, there was
ELO?
yes.
Is that it?
ELO, yes.
Yeah.
The Electric Light Orchestra, which might have been 70s when that song came out. I don't know. But so anyway,
I listen to Mr. Blue Sky ironically sometimes.
yeah, but they used it in Gardens of the Galaxy, so that would make you think of it. So anyway, the movie was really good. If you have a kid and you want to take the kid to this movie, we went to not a sold out movie, but it was probably 2/3 of the way, maybe more so than that. And a good portion of them were kids, and they laughed. They laughed at a ton of the stuff. So, and it wasn't adult jokes over people's heads. There weren't really any adult jokes, really.
No, there weren't.
And this is a movie geared towards kids. So if you're a gamer and you think you're going to go in there and get a bunch of gaming references, you will, because there are a ton of Easter eggs in there,
including like down to the movements that the characters are making.
Absolutely.
Like there's a lot of Smash Bros movements that I recognized. Also, the action sequences, really good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I had a good time. I come out of there going, I actually didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Oh, I agree.
So if you're trying to think about, do I want to take my kids to this movie? If they can handle, video game characters kind of fighting each other, then they can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no blood, there's no like swearing or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's very much a kid's movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Also, really quick, latest episode of The Mandalorian has a ton of cameos in it. People are getting mad because they think that Bo-Katan is taking over and that that The Mandalorian is about her. It says The Mandalorian. I mean, it could be about her. You know what? I don't care. I'm good with it being
throw
her.
this out here. I'm pretty sure it's about Grogu.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure the whole
It's
thing.
just his origin.
Yeah.
It's just his origin.
It's about everyone revolving around Grogu.
Yeah.
Who seems to be Mandalorian.
Yeah, and Grogu it probably will rule Mandalore. I mean, there's a good
I
shot.
can't wait for the day.
Yeah.
That little Grogu becomes the Mandalore.
Yeah.
Tames the Mythosaur.
Yes. I
and
mean,
rules the galaxy.
If someone's going to tame the Mythosaur, it's probably going to be
Yes.
him. We've seen him do it with other large creatures. So, but I'm having fun. I don't get, I get if you don't like certain actors and politics and things like that, or why are they doing that? Lizzo is in this. I didn't know it was her till later on. I think Cameron told me it was her, or I read it was her. Can't remember which.
No, I told you.
But Christopher Lloyd steals the show.
Yes, he does.
He absolutely,
especially with his speech at the end.
and it's hard to do when Jack Black is in something, because Jack Black is always steals the scene. They weren't in a scene together, so I mean that probably helps.
They were at one point, but
it was like near the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like I knew you never liked me.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out, man. Christopher Lloyd is awesome, and yeah, he's older, but still.
Like 84.
And now
he was like 40 in Back to the Future and looked 80.
Yeah. Now the cool thing as we go to break is that Christopher Lloyd has now been in Star Wars and Star Trek. There's been a few people. There's been a few people to do that. He's actually a Klingon, and I can't remember like the second or it wasn't a Khan. He was in one of those movies, one of the earlier ones with the original cast. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk Comicon as we finish up the show. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Oh, Steven. Buddy.
Diablo 1.
Diablo 1.
Like we had a finish in the UFC. Coming up, Kevin Gastelum's going to fight. He used to be pretty good. He's definitely dropped a bit. There's a documentary out about Michael Bisping. Have you seen that yet?
I have not.
I need to see that. You know, that guy managed to fake his way through like 7 or 8 of his last doctor checkups. He couldn't see out of one eye. He would see the eye chart and memorize it. And then lie. He won the title knocking out Luke Rockhold, and he was basically blind in that eye. Because of Vitor Belfort using all of the steroids.
But if you are the UFC and you see that documentary and those doctors still work for you, do you fire them automatically?
There's no way for you to know the guy memorized it.
Switch them up, I guess.
I mean, you wouldn't know. Why would you even think, right? You're a different doctor each time, just doing a quick eye check. He was just smooth about it.
By the way, this is a stream exclusive for the next minute or so. The Blue Beetle trailer, awesome. Looking forward to Blue Beetle.
That trailer was so much better than I thought it would be. I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Loved it.
I cannot wait to see that. Also,
I've always liked Blue Beetle.
Yeah, me too. The Ahsoka trailer. Really enjoyed the Ahsoka trailer.
I am so hyped for that.
Yes, when she does the thing with
the Star Wars TV shows make the movies look like absolute garbage?
Because they have a cohesive story.
You mean because the lady that's over all of Star Wars needs to be fired?
She does.
Put
she does.
Over it? Maybe that.
Of course, you've seen that they're going to try and continue like the Daisy Red, like the Rey stuff.
Yeah, that was
no one cares.
Well, the other thing they're going to do, another movie they're going to do is going to go back to the beginning of when the Force was first used, before Knights of the Old Republic. But also, Filoni is doing a movie. And it's going to tie in everything that's happening with the Mandalorian, with Ahsoka, and with the Skeleton Crew. They're going to make it into a movie. So, and they ask him, I watched an interview today, ask him, would that be it for the Mandalorian? He's like, I'm not saying that. But they're doing a movie with all those tied in together.
Why would you end it? Like, that would be so dumb.
Yeah. Because it's
I hope the movie is just, I hope the movie is just crowning Grogu as the Mandalorian. That's how it ends.
Yeah.
Him on the throne on the planet. It's too early for that, though. I mean,
have some people.
How long does it take those people of that age to? I mean, of that species
he's 50 years old in this,
right? And how old was Yoda? It was like
900.
900, yeah.
So,
which could have been like 65 in human years.
If you go by a magnitude of 10, he's 5 now. Maybe in like another 100 years, he'll be like a teenager. So like if you look at, well, in this case,
it'd be 25 or whatever.
Yeah. You just take the 0 off.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Yoda was like 900 something years old. Take the 0 off.
He was 90.
He was 90. Still spry for an old guy.
As long as he used the Force.
Definitely helped him a lot.
He really did not like seagulls, though. Even with the Force.
I get all the anger, guys. I get all the anger about Zelda, but there's anger every year when we do these brackets. Somebody's going down.
Yeah.
Or so,
somebody's got to go.
And rarely is it going to be who you think will win the whole thing. I think maybe once or twice I've guessed who was going to win the whole thing. That's just how it goes. You know, that rejoin makes me want to watch Prophecy again. It's been a while since I watched it. I usually watch
Want
it.
to get
every-
creeped out again?
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, you got to do that. All right. You listen to the Upstate Pulse, final segment of the hour, final segment of the Upstate Pulse before South Carolina Comicon, which happens next week, Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you come out. And if you see one of us, come up and say hi. Leave Rob alone. He's busy, though.
No. Well, if you catch me, I am running around like a maniac. But if you catch me, please say hey.
You're like the road
I
runner.
was just trying to look out, man. You know,
I'm
I
running around
just
all
get
over the
it.
place trying to put out fires and take care of people and do whatever we need to do. But please say hey.
All right, if he's rushing, get out of his way. There we go. That's better. South Carolina Comicon Junior, we had a member of the 501st follow me and Cameron around. It still was one of the coolest things ever.
It's fun to get tailed by a stormtrooper.
Yeah, because I saw out of the corner of my eye he was doing it, and I just pretend like I didn't notice. Went to a couple booths, and we saw him later on. Said he watches the show all the time. We appreciate that. So, yeah, and that's it. I mean, if you want to go and just have fun somewhere, South Carolina Comicon is the place to go. Also, shout out to all my furries in North Carolina that can hear us now. A couple years ago, when it was really big there, we got an email from those guys saying they love the show on their way back up to North Carolina. Well, now they can hear us. So come up and say hi, especially if my daughter is with me, because it creeps her out, and I think that's hilarious.
Oh, definitely do that.
Yes. So we did not talk about guests, and there's some guests of note that maybe we can get to really quick. Johnny Young Bosch, who was a Power Ranger, also is a very big voice actor. Kevin Eastman, the guy who half of the team who created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is going to be there. Denise Crosby from Star Trek The Next Generation, Don Fry, and Dan Severn from UFC and WWE, was WWF then. Jamie Hayter, Hangman Adam Page from AEW, Teddy Long, Holla, is going to be there from the WWE, and Emily Swallow from both the Supernatural and is the armorer for the Mandalorian, is going to be there.
And Billy West, don't forget him. And a couple of the young ladies from Spy X Spy, Jamie Hayter, Hangman Adam Page, and just as a little hint, sometime around 10 o'clock Wednesday night, watch our social media for our last guest announcement.
Ooh.
We have a last minute edition.
So
no hints, but I will say it's a good one.
Yeah, you don't want to hint because I get you in trouble.
Yeah,
but
it's a good one. And we can't announce it till 10 o'clock Wednesday night. So watch our social media for that.
So 10 o'clock Wednesday, now you know to listen or watch the social media so you can see who it's going to be. South Carolina Comicon next week, Saturday and Sunday.
Guys, I look forward to seeing everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of monster. But it's going to be a good time.
The energy drink, or
yes.
We're going to go with that.
I will be over caffeinated.
Also, a little tip: look at the catwalks when you're walking through every once in a while. Just look up at the catwalks. You don't realize they're up there, but there are catwalks. You never know who you're going to see up on the catwalk. I'm just saying.
Hey, I will say real quick: I saw Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara yelling delete to a Matt Hardy cosplayer that walked underneath them, and it made the guys' weekend. It was the coolest thing.
Very, very awesome. All right. Thanks to Cameron. Thanks to Rob Young. Thanks to everyone on the social media and on the text line for being a part of the show. We look forward to talking to you guys next week and telling you all the stuff that we saw at South Carolina Comicon and all the stuff that we bought. We probably will bring it in the building, even if we're not supposed to. Have a great weekend and happy Easter, everyone.
Go home.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being a part of the stream. And again, we will see you next week. Probably we'll jump in and do a little bit of a in line type thing when we're waiting for South Carolina Comicon, and maybe inside a little bit to let you know why you need to be there. So
Thanks for following, guys. We'll see you guys in a week.
bye-bye.